October the 1st, and Brian and I are starting our 3-week trip of a lifetime to Japan. Our first stop was Kobe, a city on Osaka Bay in central Japan.
That's the World Cruise Line just at the back of the hotel there. That's the ship that Dean worked on. Decked out some posh lady's cabin. And that's the hotel. And actually, even when you're in it, you feel like you're on a cruise ship. That's the fan zone waking up in the background.
The city became famous overnight in 1995 when a huge earthquake struck. However, there is little evidence of the disaster now, so effectively has this cosmopolitan city been rebuilt. The Earthquake Memorial Park is a site preserved with an exhibit showcasing what happened during the earthquake and the result which impacted on the citizens' lives. It's quite jaw-dropping to see some of the devastation, and seeing the area which has been left as a reminder is quite thought-provoking. This is Japan's largest herb garden, with around 75,000 herbs and flowers of about 200 kinds blooming throughout the year. Kobe's Nada district is Japan's top sake producing region. It has long been famous for its sake due to the availability of high quality rice, suitable water and favourable weather conditions. Its proximity to Kobe Harbour and Osaka have also facilitated physical distribution since olden times. Amid the small bustling lanes in Kobe, you can find the wonderful Akuta Shrine, which is possibly one of the oldest shrines in the country. It is said to have been constructed by the Empress Jingu at the beginning of the 3rd century.
Okay, this is Thursday morning. View from our hotel, and it's match day. There's Kobe City just waking up. Well, it's not really, it's 10 o'clock. This is the fan zone there, so we'll head down there shortly.
songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Here we are, these little gardens, and we picked a free day.
This garden is a secluded oasis in the middle of the city, and it's been unchanged for over a century. The city's 14,000 or more Chinese residents have turned this quarter into a lively and colourful slice of Kobe life. Approached through the four large gateways, the central plaza, Nankin Park, is surrounded by Chinese restaurants. This is a view of Kobe Harbour area from her hotel. And Kobe Port Tower, which looks spectacular at night. And this is Kobe's Maritime Museum, which has a roof designed like the sails of a ship. The displays inside focus on the city's role as a port. And then around to the fan zone area.
Oh, our ferry is finally leaving.
This futuristic building is Osaka's Amida Sky Building. The 173 metre tall building consists of 2 towers that are connected to each other by the floating garden observatory on the 39th floor. The observatory offers great views of the city through its windows and from the open air deck. It's an amazing view over Osaka and the Kyoto River.
Hi Brian, did you enjoy that?
Fantastic. Look at this.
The present reconstruction of the main stronghold, dating from 1931, is smaller than the original castle completed by Hiroshima in 1586, but still gives some idea of the power and majesty of the original. Dotonbori is a popular tourist destination in Osaka. Historically, it's a theatre district, but it's now a popular nightlife and entertainment area, crammed with karaoke bars, brothels and pachinko parlours. It's also a mecca of cheap restaurants and bars. Hotel Nikko, our hotel, and it's located in another super location with the subway station located in the basement. This temple was one of the principal sacred sites of the Shinto Buddhist sect. After its destruction in the war in 1945, it was rebuilt in 1961. This college of Western learning was opened by Hakone in 1810. He was a Dutch scholar, medical scientist and educator in the last days of the Edo period. Materials and documents relating to Ogata and his students are on display inside the building, which is a carefully preserved typical merchant's house of the period. This is one of Japan's oldest temples and the first ever to be built in the state. It was founded in 593 by Prince Shotoku, who supported the introduction of Buddhism into Japan. Although the temple's buildings burnt down several times throughout the centuries, they were always carefully reconstructed to reflect the original 6th century design.
Down there, we're miles and miles up in the sky. We're higher than the tallest building.
Is this the highest?
Higher than the highest mountain.
Is this the highest Ferris wheel you were ever on?
No, the high in London.
Is that October?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, people are like little dots down there.
The Dotonbori Ferris wheel was built in 2005, but was shut down after just 3 years in operation due to a mechanical fault. It is known as the Ibitsu Tower, called after the god of business prosperity. It was reopened in 2018. It stands at 77 metres tall and has 32 four-seater round pods. It is the only ovular Ferris wheel in the world.
What's the Moon Bridge, is it?
We meant to do it, but we just...
This bamboo grove is one of the most popular tourist sites in Kyoto. Most of the bamboos in this forest are 5 to 10 metres high, though some of them reach up to 20 metres.
So this is the observation point.
Nijo Castle was built in 1603 for the Tokugawa shogunate, and it remains an eloquent testimony of their power. The palace building itself is rich in decorative detail. Inside the palace are several masterpieces of Japanese art, most notable the painted screens of the main chamber. The Golden Pavilion is a Zen temple in northern Kyoto, whose top 2 floors are completely covered in go leaf. The temple was the retirement villa of the shogun Ashikaga, and according to his will it became a Zen temple of the Rizai sect after his death in 1408. The principal images in this temple are the 1001 statues of the Buddhist deity Kannon, 1000 standing statues and 1 gigantic seated statue placed in the centre of the standing statues are housed in the temple hall. The statues are made of Japanese cypress. Among the standing statues, 124 were made in the 12th century when the temple was founded, and the remaining 876 were made in the 13th century when the temple was renovated. The Fushimi Inari Shrine is the most famous of the many thousands of shrines dedicated to Inari, the popular deity of rice and sake. It's located near the sake-making district of Fushimi.
Can you take your umbrella out of my way, please?
An avenue formed out of several hundred torii and leading up to the shrine has been donated by businessmen.
Each one of these has paid.
Mochi is a Japanese rice cake made of a short grain japonica. It's a glutinous rice. and sometimes other ingredients such as water, sugar and cornstarch. It's actually not very exciting. Kyoto's train station provides a futuristic entry into Japan's old imperial capital. Completed in 1997, the structure is the work of architect Hiroshi Hara, a former Tokyo University professor, whose design triumphed in an international competition. The Kyoto Tower in front of the train station. This spectacular Hakone temple testifies to the power and popularity of the Jodo Shinzu sect. The temple's founder hall dates from 1895 and claims to be the largest wooden structure in the world.
Mary's praying for the Irish team again.
Wow, look at this. Children from the local school cleaning the temple. What's that? Himeji Castle was the first in Japan to be registered at UNESCO Cultural World Heritage Site. It is considered as a masterpiece from the times when Japan's unique castle architectural techniques had reached their peak around the year 1600. It is also called Hakurijo, or White Heron Castle, because of its brilliant white exterior and supposed resemblance to a white heron taking flight. It is the grandest of Japan's 12 remaining feudal castles. Himeji Castle has been used as a filming location for numerous movies, and among those is one of the famous 007 series, You Only Live Twice. Himeji Castle was used as a ninja training centre. It also featured in many scenes, such as the one where James Bond goes down to the San Nomara Square from the helicopter. In 1687, Akita, the feudal lord of Okayama, decided to lay out a garden in his domain. Not just any garden, but a large one of 32 acres on what is now an island in the Asahi River. For nearly 200 years, Korakuen remained the private property of the feudal lord and his family, overlooked by Okayama Castle, where they and important guests could be entertained. It was only occasionally open to the public for their pleasure too, but all that was to change in 1884 when its ownership was transferred to the Okayama government and it became a public pleasure garden. Today, Korakuen Garden is nationally and internationally renowned as one of Japan's 3 greatest gardens. Surely this is something for which Lord Akita would be surprised and immensely proud. We've just arrived now in the centre of Okayama, and that's the train station there where we get the bullet train on Friday, and over here right beside it is a hotel we're staying in. During the Edo period, Kurashiki was an important point along the distribution route of Japan's most important commodity, rice. Large quantities of the rice from the surrounding area were brought into Kurashiki and immediately stored there in storehouses before being shipped to Osaka and Edo. Because of the city's importance in the rice trade, Kurashiki was put under direct control of the shogunate, and the city even named after its many storehouses, Kura. Canals were built to allow boats and barges to navigate between the city's storehouses and the nearby port. A central section of the city's former canal system has been preserved in the Bikan Historical Quarter. Along the canal, there are many of the original storehouses that were so central to the city's identity. Recognised by their white walls and black tiles, the former storehouses have been converted into cafes, boutiques, souvenir shops and a number of museums. The Ohara Museum is not a converted storehouse. It was built in 1930 specifically as the first museum of Western art in Japan. It houses an impressive collection of Western masterpieces by artists such as Picasso, El Greco, Pollock and Rodin. Okayama Castle, also known as Crow Castle due to its black exterior, was built in 1596. The original castle was destroyed in the last year of World War II, but was reconstructed in 1966. 2 of the watchtowers survived the bombing of 1945. The castle is located on the Asahi River, which was used as a moat. Korakuen Garden is located just across the river.
I'm in the grounds now of Okayama Castle. It's so quiet, it's wonderful. Not a tourist hardly in sight.
These are excavated foundations of other buildings in the castle complex.
No balcony, but you do have a view. The train station.
How exciting! This is going to be my first trip on the Shinkansen.
Okay, here we are, the super train. We're gonna go super fast. We're gonna go not that fast.
We've just arrived in Fukuoka for our match tomorrow. It is in a little bit of doubt because of the unpredictability of Typhoon Hagibis. Sunny, friendly Fukuoka is the island of Kyushu's largest city and Japan's 8th largest population centre. It is divided in two by the Naka River.
Looks like a nice place for dinner. And there he is, checking out coffee at the moment.
It's our hotel over there. I believe there's a swimming pool up there somewhere.
And lilies, they're actually out of season, but there's a few stragglers here. This is one of the gateways up to the park.
Fukuoka Castle used to be the largest castle on Kyushu Island. It was almost completely torn down as an unwanted symbol of the feudal past. Only ruined walls and a few turrets remain.
Down towards the tower. The beach is down there somewhere. It's not a beach today. There's the wind coming up now. There's the Hagibis. It's the Saturday truck as well. Day at Typhoon. Wow. All the green jerseys all around the park.
This Japanese garden was created in 1984 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Ohori Park. There's Brian, he must be taking a video, or perhaps it's some version of Tai Chi.
Okay, you ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. You're sitting beside2018年にはワールドラグビー年間最優秀選手に選ばれました。2012年
For the worst of reasons, Hiroshima needs no introduction. Each year, millions of visitors are drawn to the city, where so many people were wiped out in one instance of apocalyptic destruction. The atomic bomb dome was listed as a World Heritage Site, being a building that communicates the total devastation caused by nuclear weapons. The Children's Peace Monument, depicting a girl with outstretched hands. A crane, the Japanese symbol of longevity and happiness, passes above her. The work refers to the story of a child victim of the bomb, who believed that if she could make 1,000 paper cranes, she would recover from her illness. The girl did not survive, but her story is known throughout Japan, and fresh paper cranes sent by school children adorn the memorial. The flame of peace, which will be extinguished only when all nuclear weapons have been eliminated from the earth. The cenotaph was designed by Kenzo Tang in 1952 for the victims of the bomb. It contains the names of all those who died, together with the inscription, "Let all the souls here rest in peace, for we shall not repeat the evil." The museum graphically explains the consequences of the bomb by means of photos, videos, and the victims' personal effects. Poignant exhibits include a half-melted bronze Buddha, a mangled tricycle, and the imprint of a dark shadow on the grand steps of the Sumitomo Bank building, the sole remains of someone who was sitting there at the time. Miyajima is a small island in Hiroshima Bay. It is known for its forests and ancient temples. The Itsukushima Shrine was first built in the latter half of the 6th century. It was remodeled into the present beautiful structure in 1168. Standing in the sea, it is widely known for its grand and unique construction. About 200 metres in front of the main shrine and standing in the sea is the orange-coloured Otori, or Grand Gate, which is the most noted symbol in Miyajima.
And this was going to be my photo of the holiday. But the shrine is covered in scaffolding and also the tide is out. So I'll just have to buy a boat.
The Itsukushima Shrine was officially designated in December 1996 as a precious asset of World Heritage. The 5-storied pagoda is said to have been built in 1407. It shows a splendid structural beauty that skillfully combines Japanese and Chinese architectural styles. The image of Buddha is painted in full colour on the inside wall of the pagoda. Shuken's name can be translated into English as Shrunken Scenery Garden, which is also a very good description of the garden itself. Valleys, mountains and forests are represented in miniature in the garden's landscape.
That's some of our group over there. This is one of the nicest gardens we've been in, isn't it?
No, the other day it's lovely as well.
The little one, but the first one, the big one.
They're all nice.
Shuken has a long history dating back to 1620. Around the garden's main pond, there are a number of tea houses which offer visitors ideal views of the surrounding scenery as well as experiencing a tea ceremony.
There's tea ceremony going on there. We'll pop in there later. There's Brian there.
The tea ceremony is a word that illustrates the Japanese concept of beauty by trying to live daily life beautifully. The tea ceremony reached its peak in the 16th century and became the country's unique culture. It goes back in time to a wonderful era which is still precious to all Japanese people. These are students from the Ueda Tea Ceremony School. The school has passed down through many generations of the Hiroshima Ueda family for about 400 years. We've just heard this morning that owing to the damage in the Hakone area caused by Typhoon Hagibis, we're going to Fukuoka, which is about 60 kilometres away from Hakone.
This is our Mount Fuji View Hotel, and this is where we slept last night. And oh, there's Brian, he's up this morning. Ohio.
Ohio gozaimasu.
And this is the view from the hotel room down onto the lake, but as you can see, it's a cloudy, dull day. So this is the Mount Fuji View Hotel.
So, and maybe I'm going to talk about a little bit about the Mount Fuji as a World Cultural Heritage Site.
These springs are made up of melted snow from Mount Fuji, filtered through lava for over 10 years. It is also a place of pilgrimage, where the pilgrims come to purify themselves.
Just behind those little houses there is Mount Fuji. So I'll just have to do a little Photoshop later. Photoshop.
So these greenhouses growing strawberries here. Strawberries.
This traditional Japanese village was once a small farming community until it was destroyed by a typhoon in 1966. It has since been recreated and turned into an open-air museum where you can admire thatched roof houses, learn about Japanese arts and crafts and culture, and taste local foods.
We don't have our Japanese style room tonight in Mount Fuji View Hotel, but we do have a nice balcony and a beautiful view. But unfortunately, it's so cloudy. I take a little walk down there. This is in the grounds of Fuji View Hotel. There must be weddings or something here at the edge of the lake. I found. Look at that green, I don't think in great practice there.
This shopping street of over 200 metres leads from the outer gate of the Sensoji temple to the second gate. Alongside typical Japanese souvenirs, various traditional local snacks from the Asakusa area are sold. The shopping street has a history of several centuries. The Sensoji Temple is Tokyo's most sacred and spectacular temple. It was built in 628 AD. The temple is dedicated to the Buddhist goddess of mercy, and it is the most widely visited spiritual site in the world, with over 30 million visitors annually. The temple survived the 1923 earthquake, but not the World War II bombing. Its main buildings are therefore relatively new, but follow the Edo-era layout. Although the buildings are impressive, it is the people following their daily rituals that make this place so special.
Kids.
The sprawling, scrambled intersection is an embodiment of Tokyo itself. Action in all directions. 3 huge television screens mounted on the buildings facing the intersection flash all day, while the rest of the area is covered with lights, advertisements and more lights. One of the most popular views is from the giant Starbucks, which is where we are. It's located just across from the train station.
Tokyo. We'll have a quick look around before the rugby today.
The group of buildings that make up Tokyo National Museum is a compound in the northeast corner of Ueno Park. It is the oldest and largest of Japan's top-level national museums. This museum features one of the largest and best collections of art and archaeological artifacts in Japan, made up of over 110,000 individual items, including nearly 100 national treasures. We definitely needed much more time here.
Oh no, there's something approved with it. The yellow one. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the, it's like a 20.
Yeah, very nice.
just a few dots of green around the place. People are just coming in. So apparently the England-Australia one is outside.
The Tokyo Tower was completed in 1958. It stands at 333 metres tall. It is higher than the Eiffel Tower in Paris, on which it is based.
Oh no, there's something fruit with it. The yellow one. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the, it's like Hakone.
South Africans.
Used to Japan.
Yeah.
Japan forever.
Observe a moment of silence in solidarity with the people in Japan following the widespread death